All right. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining with today's weekly Coffee with the Principal. I am so excited about our special guest who is with us here today. I will introduce her in just a moment. But here we go. Thank you so much for spending time on your Friday morning. We got a lot to cover in just about 28 minutes, but we got it. All right, just as a reminder, you're joining this meeting muted. Feel free to use the chat box as needed. We are recording this meeting. While we encourage you to leave your video on, as it helps better emulate an in-person meeting. Whoop, you don't have to. We'll have time for Q&A, both from our guest from Westchester Enriched Sciences Magnet, but also Q&A at the end of this meeting. All right. And I am so thrilled to introduce to you Miss Millet, who is I'll let her tell you about herself and what her role is at Westchester Enriched Sciences Magnets, but I've known her for several years now, and she is one of the people that makes Westchester amazing and connects well with our school here at Katherine Johnson STEM Academy. And she is here to just share a little bit more about the instructional program at Westchester Enriched Sciences Magnet High School. And we'll have some more parents join in as we go along. And again, we are recording, so we'll be able to share this with families who weren't able to make it at this time. So Miss Millet, welcome. Good to see you.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, parents, for joining us this morning. It's Friday. We're on countdown to our winter break. We've got a lot going on even today, even between both of our schools. It's vaccination day hosted by KJ, but supported by Westchester. Here at Westchester, we're celebrating our students who have been vaccinated. So we got a lot going on. I've got a lot of energy trying to drink my coffee. So if I'm talking too fast, I'm gonna blame it on the coffee. But I'm just here to talk to parents to just let you know a little bit about Westchester. I know sometimes parents don't have opportunities to join us for our magnet information night. So Mr. Huntsberger was so kind enough to allow me to speak at his Coffee with the Principal this morning. I'm going to try to share my screen. I was having some computer difficulty, but let's see if I can make this work here. Let's see. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So just some basic information. Westchester is a full magnet high school. So any student that wants to attend, whether you live locally or not, does have to complete a magnet application, and I'm always available to assist families with that. We are divided into 3 themed magnets. We have an environmental and natural science magnet, a gifted, highly gifted STEAM magnet, and a health and sports medicine magnet. So with that, each magnet has its own academic pathway, but the beauty of our school is that although we're divided into 3 themed magnets, we do function on a lot of levels as a whole school as well. So all 3 magnets offer honors and AP courses to all students. We have a full athletic program, which includes pretty much every sport except for our water sports. We're still pushing and hoping that one day we can join the high schools that offer water sports and maybe team up with Westchester Park and use the pool. There's been some talk about the why. So hopefully one day that will come to fruition. We have some amazing community partners, some of them that you probably are already familiar with a little bit by being parents at KJ. LMU is a huge supporter of Westchester. We are part of their family of schools. We have a great relationship with UCLA. Westchester is privy to be one of the only schools to be a part of the of the Loyola Marymount Upper Bound program. Their grant has been specifically written for students who attend Westchester. I believe the grant started in 2000, I don't know if it was 2005 or 2009, but they've been with us a very long time and do an amazing job of hands-on supporting our students throughout their high school years. Students can apply in 9th grade and go all the way through 12th grade. And then we have some other great partnerships, SpaceX, LAX, Microsoft, Raytheon, just to name a few. Some cool partners that joined us through COVID were actually BAM LA. It's becoming a man. And I know Mr. Huntsberger has been trying to see about getting BAM over to KJ. And then another one is Good City Mentors, where mentors throughout the city come and join our students for meetings, weekly meetings on Thursdays, and just share a little bit of insight of their different career pathways. We've had CEOs from major corporations like Nike, Google. We've had some judges, some police officers, some firefighters. So it's a really good, great opportunity for students to participate and get firsthand information about the different career pathways that exist outside of high school as well as outside of college. And then we also have a partnership with West LA College. So all Westchester students can take college courses through West LA on campus. So West LA actually comes to Westchester after school. Right now it's been virtual, but we're hoping next semester that they will continue to be able to support us in person. So many of our students have taken opportunity and they offer 2 classes a semester for our students. So some of the students that have taken advantage of that program have actually been able to earn an AA degree as well as their high school diploma by the time they finish here at Westchester. And then we have tons of clubs and opportunities for students to participate in after school. Robotics is huge. That's our big connection to KJ. Many of the students from KJ have met with our robotics teacher and some of the students, and our newly admitted KJ 9th graders have jumped right on in. We offer AP Computer Science. We offer computer programming. So some of the big programs that kind of connect us to our local middle schools that we're hoping to continue to embrace once we are kind of through and over this COVID vaccine. I'm gonna stop because I know we are short for time, and just allow parents, if you have any questions, to drop them in the chat. Just really quick as well, I'll kind of just show this. I mentioned some of the stuff, but these are some pictures of our kids so you can see some of them are recent. They have masks on, they're in class, they're learning. We do offer music courses. We don't have a big band. It's been my experience. This is my 11th year working at Westchester, and I'm also an alum, that many of our students in the recent years have, although they're great musicians, they've kind of shied away from wanting to display that on a large scale. Our last big music program was the drumline. So we're working to hope that once we get past our whole COVID protocols, we'll be able to bring those things back. But we do offer guitar, instruments, and this is one of our music classes here on the screen. And then at the bottom, you can see some students making some things in robotics, playing with these little robo-mechanical balls. They were programming them to go up and down the hallway. And then one of our great trips to LAX, where the students were actually able to get on the airplanes, talk to some of the pilots and the different employees that work in the airline industry. Just kind of skip through, sorry. And here's some of our students. Oh, did I mess up? Sorry, I don't know what's going on. There we go. Some of our students in the environmental natural science class working in the lab, they do beach cleanups. We have a green construction program where our construction teacher doesn't teach the traditional wood shop. He actually uses green construction, teaches about solar paneling, uses drones, and kind of gets students to understand sustainable building. And I don't know if any of you have had the opportunity to come on the Westchester side, but there's actually near his classroom a frame for a tiny house. Some students a couple of years ago worked with our teacher, Mr. Sarks, and built a tiny house for a homeless vet and donated the home. So any questions? I can't really see the chat.
Yes, there's a question in the chat, Ms. Millet, from Melissa Anderson. How many students in total are enrolled at Westchester Enriched Sciences Magnet?
So right now our enrollment is a little low compared to what we normally are. And unfortunately, that's the norm around the district. So right now we're at about 655 students currently. We normally average anywhere between 800 to 900. So right now we would be considered a small high school. So although our campus is large, we are now, considered a small intimate high school, which actually I will not complain. I started here when there were about 1,700 students. And as magnet coordinator, it's my duty and I feel my obligation to get to know all of the students. So although we're, I was able to do that, it took me a little longer when we were a larger school. It's really nice to be able to say that I know my students and families. I'm one of the first people that they meet when they join the school. So I am able to build those relationships with them outside of the classroom.
And I'll add on to that, Ms. Millet. I think the small nature of Katherine Johnson STEM Academy is one of the things that draws families to us. And so many of, not all, but many of our families are looking to continue education for their children in smaller environments than, you know, huge high schools that have existed in the past. So that's a good question, Ms. Anderson. Thank you.
Yeah, considering the high schools on the West, we are pretty much the smallest high school. Venice, for example, I think is over 1,500. Same thing with Hamilton is 2,000. Uni is about 15, I think 12 or 1,500. So all the other schools that are considered the high schools in the West are really large high schools compared to our numbers. And I did forget to add that because we are a magnet, we do have students that come from all over Los Angeles. So as parents, I know you've seen our school buses. Students have the opportunity to leave their, you know, local area and come to us. And that is one of the things that they do enjoy, is coming to this area. It's peaceful, it's safe, it's a community, it's becoming more intimate. So I'm hoping that, yeah, if you have any questions, we'll put my email back up and you'll be able to email me at any time. So right now the first go round of application, the window closed in November, but the late application window opens in February. So I know sometimes it takes parents, you know, you need more time to figure out what you want to do, what's going to work for your student. We're all, you know, trying to see what second semester is going to look like in next school year. So there's no rush. The beauty of being magnet coordinator to a school like Westchester with KJ as being one of our community schools is that I get to support you. So if you change your mind or need have more questions, I am here to help you. And especially if you are a local community resident, your child actually receives a little bit of priority. I'm not supposed to say, but I think it's important to tell you. They receive some priority on the late list. So because we're in the late application window, I feel it's important to say that. So if you live within the Westchester, Playa del Rey, Playa Vista area, your child is bumped up on the wait list. But all of my students usually get in late list, early list, it doesn't matter. We support them. I'm always pushing to strive to exceed our numbers versus not doing so.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ms. Millet. Thank you for sharing your information about Westchester High School. And I want to just say, I'm appreciative for all the ways that Ms. Millet helps our two schools coordinate and support each other. And we collaborate a lot. Literally after coffee with the principal, we're on another Zoom, Miss Millet and I, with our community schools administrator and with some folks from Wright. So it's a very symbiotic relationship. So thank you so much, Miss Millet. At this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue on with a few updates and announcements for myself. Miss Millet, you can go, if you can put your email in the chat as well, that would be super helpful. And then families, feel free, if you have questions that come up later, feel free to reach out to Miss Millet. And Miss Millet, you're welcome to hang out here for the next 15 minutes if you'd like to, or you can go get ready for the next meeting, in which I'll see you in about 15 minutes.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I am going to jump off and try to, use the next 15 minutes to
get ready
for the next meeting. Thank you, parents.
Thank you. Thanks,
Ms. Hansberger.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So thank you, Ms. Millet, and we will continue to highlight our high schools for families, particularly 8th grade families, but really all families as well. All right, just a couple announcements from us, and then time for your Q&A. So instruction this week, again, my favorite part of this job as a principal is going into the classrooms and seeing all the amazing stuff that our students and our scholars are doing. So this is from a history class where students were working to create identity maps, connecting that with culture, connecting that with history, and enhancing their writing skills through that. So you may have seen your students working on that, at home a little bit as we move forward. This is a math class, and obviously I'm a little biased because I used to be a math teacher, and our students here are working on a statistics project as they learn the requirements for being able to present data, understand data. And as we know, through everything in this world that's been going on the last couple of years, having accurate data is really, really important. And so our students were working in group projects on conducting surveys, analyzing the data in their mathematics classes. So I got to come in and see a little bit of that. It's also been fun to see, out on the yard during lunchtime, kids come up to me and say, "Is so-and-so here? I need to find them and ask them a question about what kind of style they like." And that's their statistics project. So that's really a joy. Just a couple of announcements. One is thank you for all of you who have already done the school experience survey. This is really important as it allows the district and our school to have input as to what's working, what's not working, what we can do better. All our students did this, I think last week or the week before. So we've gotten most of the student responses, but we really, really depend on your responses as families to help us as a school and help us as a district. So if you have not done so already, if you can literally open the link that's in the chat that I just put there, chief.lausd.net/school experience survey. The survey will take you between 5 and 10 minutes. All the results are, it is anonymous, but all the results are public. So you can look up previous year's results from different schools in the whole district. This survey closes for parents on December 19th, which is just over a week away. So please make sure that you get that in. All right, this next one is a new announcement. This is important to share with you. During the winter break, Local District West will be providing online academic support for students. And so, next Friday, the 17th, is our last day here at the school before winter break. After that, however, during the winter break, members of the Local District West team will be providing online support through Zoom. So if you have a child who needs some academic support in any way, we encourage you to log on to the Zooms and your child can be supported in that way. I am sharing with you in the chat up top here the bit.ly to this schedule. And it is case sensitive. So it's bit.ly/LDW winter office hours web. That second part of the URL is case sensitive. So you have to type it in exactly like that with capital letters. And that will give you the schedule and that will give you a link to the Zoom as well. I'm giving you a link to this calendar because it's this calendar ends on December 31st, but there may be some opportunities that LD West puts up here that first week in January before we get back. So please bookmark that in case you want to make use of that during the winter break. All right, just a couple of quick COVID updates. Again, we've had zero positive test results from any staff members or students in like 12 weeks in a row. So it's been a long time. We continue with our testing. We are continuing to follow up with 12-year-olds who haven't submitted their vaccination records yet. We have a handful of kids who have told us, "Oh yeah, I did it," but haven't uploaded it yet. So we're helping them to do that. We do have a vaccination clinic here at Westchester High School today from noon to about 6:30. So if you have a child and need to get them vaccinated, you can literally just drive them by the Westchester Auditorium and do a walk-in. Again, there's no district mandate for vaccinations for 5 to 11-year-olds. However, they are eligible to receive vaccinations at the mobile clinic today if you would like them to do that. So just know that that is available. Okay, that is all of the updates that I have for today. So I want to take just a little bit of time and see what questions folks may have about anything. So feel free to put it in the chat or hit the raise hand button, or if we're a small group, you can just unmute yourself.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I have a question. What's the status with Katherine Johnson closing? My son had mentioned that the school didn't have enough enrollment. Should we be concerned as parents?
No, I've no idea where that's coming from.
Okay.
I'd be the first to tell you.
Yes, because I really want to keep my sixth grader there.
Yes.
And my fifth grader is also going to be going there. And
yes.
I love the fact that teachers are absolutely great. And it's a lot of one-on-one. And it's a small setting. And I love the whole environment of the school, the atmosphere, everything. And you're doing a great job. You address problems right away. And I do not want this school to close. So if you need any parents, advocating for the school, like, get us on board, because we do not want this school to go anywhere.
That is not happening. That is completely false. I want to unequivocally say that is false. I'm not sure where that came from. Like Miss Millet said, all schools across the district are always looking for ways to improve enrollment. And at some point, maybe a domino got connected in some students' mind that, oh, if there's not enough enrollment, then this, then this, then this, then this. And the reality is that's simply not true. So obviously all schools are looking to, honestly, and I'll be truthful, like the truth is, we want to grow, not because we're worried about our size, but really because we believe what's going on here, and we want more students to be able to experience that. Because like you said, it is a great environment for kids, and I appreciate the compliments. It's really a little bit about me, but mostly about my team that is here, and they are the ones who really do a fantastic job working with students, connecting with them, delivering instruction. So I just
thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah, yes, unequivocally false.
You know what it was? I think because my son was writing letters to try and recruit fifth graders.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So I think he got worried. So he worried me more because, again, I do not want this school to close. I love it.
No. Yeah,
so I just want to.
Yeah, one of the things that we do, I'll tell you all what that was about. So one of the things that we do is we try to connect with and we do this all the time. We connect with our elementary schools in the area. So we do that a couple ways. Number one, we do something called Future Rocket Day. Some of your kids did a Future Rocket Day when they were at their elementary school before they came here, where kids come on buses and they go to classrooms and do STEM activities, and then they go back to their elementary school. We continue to do that. We're on Zoom. One of the things we're trying for the first time this year, and this was a colleague's idea. We actually had our sixth graders, and maybe some seventh graders, but I think it was mostly sixth graders, write a letter back to their fifth grade teacher and say, hey, I miss you. I hope you're having a great year so far. Here's what my experience at Katherine Johnson STEM Academy is like. So that makes sense to me as to why he would think that, but that's 100% false.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And that's
okay,
what happened.
Cool. All right, cool. Thank you so much. What other questions do folks have? We've just got a couple minutes left. Oh, and there is a question, or there's a note in the chat, and I'll share this from. I'll read this out loud in case our folks watch this online. We have a family member who's attending a luncheon tomorrow with LAUSD board members. And I guess this parent is collecting questions about anything, whether it's transportation or magnet or COVID, et And the mom put her email in the chat right now. So if you've got questions for board members, you can email Ms. Chambers at that email address in the chat. Ms. Chambers, is it okay if I read the email out loud for our folks who watch an archive of this? Absolutely. So if you're watching the archive on this before Saturday morning, you can email Ms. Chambers at, is it Ms. Chambers, real quick, is it literally spelled that way? Or might it be, okay, that's what I thought. Okay, cool. It's K kchambers06@gmail.com. So KCHAMBERS06@gmail.com. So if that's one way to connect with our board members. And I think several board members will be there. So thank you so much, Ms. Chambers, for sharing that. We have time maybe for about one more question. If anyone has one more question, I can take it. All right. Got it. I'm so excited our regular cafeteria guy is back. Thank you for sharing that. We love Mr. Graves here. And if you have any questions about, I'll use this as time as a plug. If you search online for Cafe LA LAUSD, you can always see what's on the menu for school lunches. Great segue there. All right, with that said, I will wish you all a very happy Friday. Thanks so much for joining me today. Have a great weekend, and we will see you next week. We'll have one more coffee with the principal next Friday, and that'll be our last one before the winter break. Thanks so much and have a great day. Bye-bye.